Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to say thank you, first of all, for coming out. Thank you to the media for coming. And many thanks to the media for helping us to spread the word about traffic safety. We know that we cannot build the network to reach as many people. I was wondering about that. We know we cannot build a network to reach the people that we need to reach without your partnership, and we thank you for that. We're gathered here today to talk about Operation Grizzly that has taken place in Shelby County within the city of Memphis. We have several guest speakers here today, and it's my pleasure to introduce Commissioner David W. Perkey, the Commissioner of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security. Commissioner.
Good morning. Thank you, Lieutenant, and thank you to everyone that's here this morning. Thank you to all the troopers. We just concluded our district visit here in the Memphis district. We visit each district once a year and decided to arrange this press conference in conjunction with that visit. This is not the first Operation Grizzly that our department has done here in Memphis and Shelby County, and we're happy to have one of the chiefs with the Shelby County Sheriff's Department with us this morning. Director Mike Rawlings was trying his best to be here. He was delayed by something that was unavoidable. But let me just say this to you on behalf of the department and the Tennessee Highway Patrol. We come to Memphis and Shelby County because we absolutely trust the Director of Police and the Sheriff of Shelby County. They are wonderful partners with us. When we're in trouble, they come running. They have done that many times for the Tennessee Highway Patrol. And we return that same courtesy. When they have issues that they need a little extra help with, we come running. All it takes is a phone call. They have some issues that they're dealing with here in Shelby County and the city of Memphis, and they needed more time to devote on those issues. They asked us to conduct another operation with our troopers to take some of the load off of them. We're specialists in our area of highway safety and can do a lot that allows the police department and the sheriff's department to concentrate on their challenges at the time. And we're always going to do that. And again, I cannot underestimate the relationship that we have with the leaders of law enforcement here. They are absolutely colleagues and friends, and all it takes is a phone call from them, and we're going to be there to support their efforts. So I appreciate the media. We sometimes in government we have an adverse relationship with the media. It's just the nature of the beast. But I can tell you, as Commissioner of the Department of Safety and Homeland Security, that the great majority of the time, the media is one of our biggest allies and assets when we're trying to get a message out. So thank you to each of you for being here. Lieutenant?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Commissioner. Our next speaker is Colonel Derek Stewart. He is the Colonel and Commander of the Tennessee Highway Patrol statewide operations. He took office June 1st of this year. Colonel?
Thank you, Lieutenant. We certainly appreciate each of you for being here, in particular the media, to help us to get the message out. The Tennessee Highway Patrol Memphis District, along with the Memphis Police Department and the Shelby County Sheriff's Office, has partnered twice now to conduct Operation Grizzly. This is an enforcement initiative targeted to decrease traffic fatalities and to promote public safety. The THP placed a strong focus on targeting the causes of serious injury and fatal crashes by utilizing current crash data to saturate areas within the Memphis area that has an increase in crashes recently. Our partners include the Memphis Police Department, Shelby County Sheriff Department, the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, and local media and the general public. With the increase of a THP involvement, our goal is to decrease fatal and serious injury crashes, to increase our seatbelt usage rate in Tennessee, to decrease distracted driving, and to reduce violent crime through proactive traffic enforcement. Operation Grizzly is an operation that brought troopers from other areas within the 10-county Memphis district, and these and other areas throughout our state. The city of Memphis has seen a real significant increases in fatal crashes lately and increases in crime. And we wanted to afford us the opportunity to work with our partners of the MPD and the Sheriff Department in order to try to reduce those crimes. It is also designed to relieve the Memphis Police Department of traffic enforcement duties and to allow them to be more focused in the violent crime areas that's taking place in Shelby County. Shelby County has seen an overall increase in crashes in 2018. From January 1st until November the 15th of this year, there's been 7,391 total crashes involving injuries, 137 crashes involving fatalities, which yielded 150 people dying on our roadways. That is 150. That's just not a number. That is lives that's been lost. That is families that's been devastated. And we are here to help partner to do something about that. In order to keep our roadways safe, we ran this enforcement campaign to target the causes of serious injury and fatal crashes. And we utilize our current crash maps to saturate areas within the city limits and has worked to increase the rates of crash reduction. The goal was to see significant decrease in fatal and serious injury crashes and to minimize crime. We dedicated a minimum of 14 troopers and as many as 20 troopers per day to work here in this area on Operation Grizzly. The dates of the operation are as follows. They were October the 31st through November the 4th and November the 14th through November the 18th. We utilized proactive saturation and line patrols to target unrestrained, distracted, and impaired drivers, as well as focus on other hazardous movement violations. The troopers primarily worked in the city limits and used data-driven enforcement. Operation Grizzly has proven to be successful in reducing fatal and serious crashes, as well as reducing felonious crimes. I am committed, as the Colonel of the Highway Patrol, to use any available resources to assist in saving lives, whether it's in rural Tennessee or it's in the inner city of Memphis or any of our other major metropolitan areas. I have reallocated resources from across the state to address this increased fatalities here in Shelby County, and it's our goal to see a decrease in all crashes throughout the remainder of the year. One of the most significant events that took place during this operation was a pursuit and apprehension of juveniles, juvenile subject wanted by the Memphis Police Department for vehicle theft. The juveniles ran for the Memphis Police Department earlier in the day, and they were still on foot in the areas where our troopers were working. Sergeant Ashley Roach, who is here with us today, she came upon the subjects and they immediately ran. 4 of the 6 juveniles were caught and turned over to the Memphis Police Department, and they were all charged with crimes of theft over $250,000. Trooper Houston Davis also looked beyond the traffic stop when he stopped a speeding violator and arrested a convicted felon with a weapon. This individual is also charged with possession of a stolen firearm as well as possession of marijuana with the intent to resell. Trooper Joshua Davis recovered a stolen firearm from a handgun permit holder on a traffic stop, and this case was taken over by our Criminal Investigation Division because the weapon was stolen from a pawn shop which had sold the weapon early on. The third and final wave for Operation Grizzly this year will take place on December the 18th and December the 18th through December the 22nd of this year, and we hope to have further operations down the road to help assist with reducing crime and crashes here in Shelby County. We thank you all again for being here. We thank our partners for helping us out with this effort. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Our next speaker is the captain and works as the chief of the Tennessee Highway Patrol in the Memphis area. It's Captain Jimmy Johnson.
Again, I want to thank the media for coming out. Y'all have been big supporters of THP Memphis. Anytime that we've asked you to come out to get our message, you have shown up and got our message out for you. I want to also thank the Commissioner, Colonel Stewart, for recognizing the partnership that we maintain with Shelby County Sheriff's Department and MPD, and allowing me the flexibility to use resources and giving me extra resources to assist our local partners. I think the day and age of law enforcement, we've all recognized that we're all shorthanded and we can use each other's help, and we need each other to accomplish each of our missions. I also want to recognize my team that's standing up here, that is the people that's out on the road, the boots out on the road, that's doing the traffic enforcement and saving lives, and also removing criminals from the streets. During this Operation Grizzly, we worked 2 weeks in a 4-week span here in Shelby County. We were able to issue over 700 seatbelt citations, removed 10 drivers off the road that was under the influence, 1,842 total citations during this time, and also 108 distracted driver citations were issued. I also want to thank Tennessee Highway Safety Office, who is also a partner with us. They were able to allocate additional funds to be able to pay overtime and to bring extra resources into the Memphis city limits to assist in this operation. I'm looking forward to the last week of this operation, this phase of the operation. It's right prior to the holidays, so I think being out there, we'll be able to save lives and reduce fatalities in the city of Memphis, and also remove violent criminals off the roadways in Shelby County. Like the Colonel said earlier, we have a great working relationship with MPD in Shelby County, and I think that all 3 agencies, not just these 3, but Millington, Collierville, Germantown, it's essential for us all to come together and put our resources together to make Memphis and Shelby County a safer place. At this time, if you have any questions, I'm going to turn it back over to our PIO, Bill Miller, and if you have some questions that he can't answer, I will.
Thank you, Captain. Thanks, sir.
Lieutenant Colonel Barr, call Director Rollins back over. He's been calling me. Sorry.
Oh, no, sir, you're fine. As mentioned earlier, Director Rawlins has not been able to attend, but we do also will recognize that we have another speaker here today. It's from the Shelby County Sheriff's Department, and he is Chief Deputy Scott Wright.
Thank y'all so much. On behalf of the sheriff, he couldn't be here today, but a couple of things I did want to talk about. They talked about the fact that the number of citations they were to be issued, the traffic enforcement that the Highway Patrol came in and was able to do. But I found an interesting number when I got here today. Dave McGriff asked me, what kind of work we had been doing with the Highway Patrol, and have we been getting good cooperation, and we have. I've had a long-standing relationship with Captain Johnson from the Highway Patrol. Actually, a couple of weeks ago, we did run an operation, and I didn't call him, and he got on me about it. So we've corrected that problem. And we do appreciate all the help from the Highway Patrolmen that come in from around the state. I know you'd probably rather be home with your families and in your area, but one number that was striking to me, we have a data smart policing meeting every week that keeps up with our crime stats, and over the last 4 weeks, our crime in the county is down 14.8%. And I can only say that that's contributed to the extra law enforcement presence that's here in Shelby County from the Highway Patrol, Memphis Police Department, and the deputies being out on the street. So I just wanted to kind of hit on that not only are they dealing with the traffic problems, but as the Colonel spoke a while ago, the arrest that they made on the stolen cars. I mean, that's a big issue in Shelby County right now, stolen cars being broken into. And they're able to get some of those people off the street. It allows us to get more officers on the street, and we're able to reduce crime in this county. And on behalf of the sheriff and the citizens of this county, we appreciate the Highway Patrol from around the state coming in and helping us out down here. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you. Our last speaker unfortunately could not attend. Had some prior engagements that came up that were unexpected, and that was Senator Sarah Kyle. We just want to recognize that without the support of our elected officials on the local and state level, there are many things we cannot accomplish to make these highways safer. At this time, that wraps up our press conference as far as our speakers, but we are all welcome to take questions and to speak as a panel or speak individually. So if you have questions for any of our speakers, please let us know.
Yeah, yes, sir. Can you tell me how the saturation of the program works? Are the patrolmen cruising routinely through the city? I know we see them, on the highways, but how does this work within the city and Shelby County?
Troopers brought into the city of Memphis to patrol and to answer calls, and we also use a data-driven source of information to tell us where incidents are most likely to take place. That's a historical data is used to confirm these locations. Troopers then can self-deploy, they can patrol those areas, and they also are answering calls in those areas. As the Colonel alluded to, we bring a minimum of 14 up to 20 troopers per day to take over the full enforcement of traffic laws and violations that's taking place on the interstates, city, state, and the rural roads that may take place inside Shelby County. But we are primarily focusing on the city streets and roadways inside the city of Memphis.
So this is the second, this will be the second phase of the operation.
Correct.
Past December, what are your plans? You're just gonna wait and see how it works out, or what?
Sorry, you want to correct that?
Yes, sir, our plans are to really to continue this operation. I will work with Director Rollins and Sheriff Bonner to ensure that we have a good presence here. And we can't do this on a full-time basis year-round, but we can allocate resources for special enforcement initiatives. And again, our goal is to save lives and to really reduce crime. And we're able to do that when we all partner together. None of us have enough resources in order to meet the needs of safety and security in this area. So we all have to partner and work together to that end.
I'm sure a lot of attention is on distracted driving, correct?
Absolutely.
And is that one reason why the upkick in accidents, you think, and serious accidents? Is that
Sure. It's very hard to measure, but distracted driving is probably one of the preeminent challenges that all of us face all across the country, not just here in Tennessee. And this is a challenge that we with THP have really taken great initiative on this. We realize that the people that travel up and down the roadways, they're distracted by their cell phones, they're distracted by eating, they're distracted by putting makeup on, and we utilize a couple different tactics in order to address those things, and we will continue that. We know that that's what's impacting the lives of people all across this state, and we know that's what's killing people on the roadways of Tennessee.
Are you all referring to, Jared, for those with WC actually spot, are you all referring to the November 19th incident, the carjacking that she was, or someone was involved in, THP? Which incident are you talking about with juveniles?
I'm not familiar with the exact date.
I do know some of the information that we got from MPD. There were 6 juveniles in the area that they were trying to apprehend that day, and I just happened to run upon them. I just driving through off of Norris Road in the interstate at 240. The information that we got after several of us chased them for probably about 2 hours to apprehend the juveniles. They were underneath trailers, and the local residents were pointing them out to where the juveniles were running to. They were stealing cars off of the railroad yard that were brand new and haven't been delivered to the dealership yet, so the charge was theft over $250,000. I believe they were able to get information from them to get the other juveniles, but it's definitely an ongoing problem that this is dealing with.
I was trying to see if we could pull up the date so we can have that video, but I don't know if we covered it. If we all find out the date.
That's not the same incident.
Okay.
It's not the carjacking, yeah.
Can you give us your name, Sergeant?
Sergeant Ashley Roach.
Spell your last name?
It's ROACH.
ASHLEY.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Okay, well, listen, we thank you so much for coming out.
If I could, Senator Brian Kelsey's office representative, good to have you. What's your first name?
Jennifer Martinez.
Good to have you with us.
Again, that concludes our press conference. We thank you so much for coming out. Again, we cannot do what we do without your partnership, and we really thank you.